Every single day across the world, mountains of used paper are discarded without a second thought. Newspapers read once and forgotten. Cardboard boxes opened and thrown aside. Office documents printed, filed, and eventually replaced. On a global scale, this waste adds up to millions of tons every year. Yet inside massive industrial facilities, this so-called waste is not the end of a story. It is only the beginning of a new cycle. Behind steel walls and roaring machines, paper is reborn on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine. The journey begins with collection. Across cities and industrial zones, used paper is gathered from homes, supermarkets, warehouses, and offices. Trucks loaded with compressed bales of paper arrive continuously at recycling facilities. From above, the plant looks like a small city of steel and concrete, operating day and night to handle thousands of tons of material. Before recycling can truly begin, the paper must be carefully sorted. Not all paper fibers are the same. Cardboard, newspapers, and office paper each contain different qualities. Conveyor belts move the material forward while workers in automated systems remove plastics, metals, tape, and other contaminants. Precision at this stage is critical. Once sorted, the paper enters a massive pulping machine. Inside a giant steel tank, rotating blades create powerful turbulence. Water is added in controlled amounts, breaking the sheets apart and transforming them into a thick fiber suspension known as pulp. However, the pulp is not yet clean. Ink particles, glue, and microscopic plastics remain suspended inside the mixture. The pulp passes through multi-stage screening systems. Centrifugal cleaners spin at high speed, forcing heavier contaminants outward while usable fibers continue forward. Air bubbles are then injected into the suspension. In this flotation process, ink particles attach to the bubbles and rise to the surface, where they are removed. Slowly, the dark pulp becomes lighter and more refined. After de-inking, the pulp enters a refining system. Rotating metal discs gently treat the fibers, improving bonding strength without damaging their structure. This stage directly affects the final paper's durability and surface quality. Automated sensors monitor pressure, temperature, and consistency in real time. The pulp then flows into large storage towers where the water-to-fiber ratio is precisely stabilized. Before entering the paper machine, one final fine screening ensures maximum purity. The purified pulp is diluted and evenly distributed onto a fast-moving wire mesh. At this stage, the sheet contains more than 99% water. Gravity and vacuum systems remove moisture as fibers begin to interlock naturally. The fragile sheet then enters the press section. Massive rollers apply mechanical pressure, squeezing out additional water and strengthening the fiber network. Next comes the drying section. The sheet passes around dozens of steam-heated cylinders. Remaining moisture evaporates as the paper gains stability and strength. By the end of this stage, a continuous roll of new paper is formed. As the endless sheet of newly formed recycled paper moves forward, it no longer looks like waste. At this stage, it has already been cleaned, filtered, pressed, and dried. Now it enters one of the most visually impressive parts of the entire factory process: winding and finishing. The paper travels at an incredible speed across large steel rollers. These rollers guide the sheet carefully to ensure it remains smooth and evenly tensioned. Any slight wrinkle or misalignment could affect the final product, so precision is critical. The movement is continuous, steady, and highly controlled by advanced automation systems. Soon, the paper reaches the massive winding section. Here, the flat sheet begins wrapping around a giant core. Layer by layer, the sheet builds into an enormous roll that can weigh several tons. The roll grows larger and larger, spinning rapidly as more paper is added. Watching this process feels almost hypnotic. A thin sheet transforming into a gigantic industrial roll in just minutes. But the process doesn't stop there. Once the jumbo roll reaches the required diameter, automated systems carefully cut the sheet. The massive roll is then moved to the finishing area for further processing. Everything is calculated. Diameter, width, thickness, and weight must meet strict quality standards. In the finishing section, the jumbo roll may be slit into smaller rolls depending on its final purpose. Some will become packaging paper, some will be transformed into cardboard layers, and others may be processed into printing paper. Large cutting machines slice the roll with remarkable accuracy, creating perfectly measured products ready for shipment. After cutting, the rolls are carefully wrapped and labeled. Protective packaging prevents moisture or damage during transportation. Robotic arms often handle the heavy rolls, stacking them neatly on pallets. The efficiency is astonishing. Thousands of tons of recycled paper can leave the factory every day, ready to begin a new life in different forms. What makes this stage truly remarkable is the transformation it represents. Just hours earlier, this material was discarded waste. Newspapers, cartons, office paper. Now it stands as a high-quality industrial product, manufactured with precision and efficiency. And as the finished rolls leave the production line, the cycle of recycling quietly continues. From waste collection to winding and finishing, the journey of recycled paper is not just about manufacturing. It is about sustainability, technology, and giving materials a second life. Beyond the impressive machinery, the environmental impact of paper recycling is enormous. Recycling reduces the need for cutting down new trees, saves significant amounts of water and energy, and keeps millions of tons of waste out of landfills. Inside these factories, the process never truly stops. Conveyor belts keep moving, pulpers keep spinning, and drying cylinders keep heating, completing a continuous cycle of transformation. And as the finished rolls leave the production line, the cycle of recycling quietly continues. From waste collection to winding and finishing, the journey of recycled paper is not just about manufacturing, it is about sustainability, technology, and giving materials a second life. The next time you place paper into a recycling bin, remember that its journey is far from over. Inside a massive factory, those fibers may soon be broken down, cleaned, pressed, dried, and reborn into something entirely new. Millions of tons of paper are recycled every year, proving that waste, when managed intelligently, can become opportunity once again.